everybody, welcome to my channel. My name's Luisa. How's everybody doing? Are you enjoying the cooler temperatures? It's 63 degrees outside today and it's absolutely beautiful. The sun is out. We're going to go outside today because I'm anxious to show you the collection that I made using the Bargain Bead Box for September. We're talking Jasper, we're talking beautiful autumn colors. I can't wait to show you. I have my long pants on, I have my long sleeves on, but guess what else I have on? You're going to think this is funny, but let me show you. That's right, I have my flip-flops on. My feet refuse to give up summer. So that's okay. You know, it's 63 degrees outside. That's not that cold, and I can handle 63 degrees. I know my feet can. So let me take my feet on outside, and we'll go look at the beautiful jewelry that I made for this month. Here's the first necklace. As you can see, I used the lovely 52mm leaf pendant, as well as the large 10mm Jasper rounds. Oh my gosh, the Jasper beads in this month's box were absolutely gorgeous. But when I first saw them, I instantly remembered that I had purchased some Jasper chip strands from Michael's recently. And so I went looking for them, and when I pulled them out, I saw they were a perfect match. So I pulled out my magic rods and I started arranging the beads. Using the magic rods made the job so easy, guys. If you don't know what they are, I'll leave a link below in the description box so that you can go check it out. I made a video about them using the Coil Buddy. But anyway, these rods made it so easy because this was the perfect occasion to use them. What I like about them is that they hold chips, bead caps, and anything that can't sit very well on a beading board. I'm able to easily thread them onto the rods in the exact measurement that I need prior to loading them onto a thread or a beading wire. But anyway, I used the 10mm Jasper beads, the Jasper chips, and some 8/0 seed beads all the way to the clasp. The leaf pendant was gorgeous on its own, but I wanted to add a little sparkle and some interest, so I created some long dangles using head pins and the champagne shimmer bicones, as well as the copper spacer beads that they gave us, plus the crystal polygon beads, and boy did they sparkle. But anyway, after I created the bead patterns for the strands and I was satisfied with them, I used some beading wire to thread them on, and of course I used the multi-bead method for offloading from the rod and loading onto the wire. And talk about a time saver. The rods help the beads stay in perfect alignment, so you can very easily grab several at the same time and then thread them onto wire or a needle or whatever else you're using to create your piece. So I threaded one side on and then the pendant, and then all I had to do is to thread the other side on and the necklace is done. There's no rework, there's no undoing or redoing. Very easy, guys. So anyway, guys, this was my leaf pendant necklace. I hope you like it. You're looking at necklace number 2. As you can see, it's a very cute crystal choker necklace. And I actually made it to be worn with a leaf pendant, and I'll show you how they look together in a little bit. But as you can see, I used the gorgeous green iris 8x6mm crystal rondelles. I wanted to keep the necklace on the minimalist side, so I only used 3 of the rondelles, flanked by a copper spacer bead on each side of the arrangement. I simply threaded them onto some 18 gauge wire. I attached one of the wire to a piece of chain with a loop and some wraps. I then threaded the rondelles onto the wire and finished the other end by attaching it to the chain in the same manner. As you can see, it looks great up against the leaf pendant necklace. and those rondelles were so pretty. There's something magical about combining green iris crystal with copper. But anyway, as you can see, I attached a lobster claw clasp to finish the necklace, and that was pretty much it. And boy, look how those rondelles sparkle in the sunlight. Oh my gosh. This is such a pretty choker necklace, and I'm definitely going to wear it myself. And here's a shot of me with both of them on. And here's necklace number 3. Okay, I'll be honest, guys. I was a little disappointed with this beautiful 41mm fancy Jasper focal bead. And I was disappointed because it was just plain green. There were no other colors on it. But on the positive side, it inspired me to create this beautiful Tree of Life design using copper wire and the lovely blue-green champagne faceted coin beads. I found that the lighter beads stood out beautifully up against the dark green Jasper. I simply took some 26 gauge wire and I started playing with it until a tree emerged. I formed a ring at the back using some 18 gauge square wire for strength, and then I wired on the 26 gauge wire. Using some pliers, I created little bends and twists to give it a more organic look. And so yeah, I was pretty happy with the Tree of Life. So then after I created the pendant, I had to figure out what to do for the strands. So I pulled out the 8mm Jasper round beads and I carefully selected the lighter ones that picked up the blue from the coin beads. There were plenty of light blue and grayish colored Jasper beads that I was able to choose. So then I attached them to the round tree lengths using some eye pins. I thought the tree lengths would coordinate real well with the Tree of Life theme of the pendant. It was like a strand of tiny trees of life, very cute. Anyway, I was pretty happy with this one, and with a large Jasper round focal. You're looking at necklace number 4. I seem to create this design a lot. I just love linking dangles together and making statement necklaces. As you can see, this one has the lovely glass leaf charms in the light magma color. But I also attached some leaf branch links that I had purchased on Beadbox Bargains a while ago. I believe they came in a previous subscription box as well, and I don't remember which month it was. But anyway, I thought I would put them to good use in this necklace. My first challenge was to wrap some wire at the top of each charm. I then threaded on an 8mm Jasper round with bead caps and attached the branch link at the very top of each strand. I then threaded the strands along with the 8x6mm rondelles onto some 18 gauge wire with a loop at each end, and I created some rondelle components for the strands. I linked them to each other using some strong jump rings and added chain at the top, as you can see. And I used a lobster claw clasp in a copper color. The combination of the Jasper beads, magma colored glass leaves, and green iris rondelles looked absolutely gorgeous in the sunlight. So anyway, this is the finished product. I hope you like it. And here's necklace number 5. As you can see, it's another choker necklace. I wanted to use some of those adorable glass leaf charms. Plus Bargain Bead Box gave us some lovely round tree charms and oval shaped beads with a branch design. So I simply connected them to the chain that was included in the box, and I also created a pendant using the ring portion of the toggle clasp they gave us. I believe we received a total of 3 bamboo style toggle clasps, but I'm not a big fan of using them except for the occasional bracelet. So I thought I would put it to good use, and I attached a large 10mm round bead as well as the round tree charm. The charms and the focal piece are all very monochromatic and gives this necklace a somewhat minimalist look while still making a statement. I like minimalist, but I also like my jewelry to be noticed, and I think this definitely will get noticed. What do you think? Anyway, this is necklace number 5. I hope you like it. And here's the 6th and final necklace. As you can see, it features the gorgeous fancy Jasper rondelles. They were small enough that I thought they would pair up real well with the absolutely adorable 3mm garnet faceted beads, which, by the way, I went back to Bead Box Bargains and was able to snatch up another strand because I love them so much. So to assemble this beauty, I whipped out my magic rods again for 2 main reasons. They're thin enough to fit through the very tiny holes of the garnet beads because, guys, they were very small holes, let me tell you. And they also hold the rondelles in their upright position, which can sometimes be difficult with your traditional bead board. So anyway, I assembled a total of 4 rods. Each one had about 6.5 inches worth of beads for a total necklace length of 26 inches. That's the beauty of the rods, guys. There's no guesswork and no rework, and it makes the job so simple. The nice thing about the rods is that it allows you to make simple changes along the way. And I did think about adding some focal copper accents, but I opted to stick with just the gemstones and crystals. And by the way, I am going to be offering the rods in a longer length, 12 inches. So if you're interested in these rods, you can find them on my Etsy store. I'll leave a link down below. But anyway, this necklace can be worn as is or with a very simple loop that I created using the faceted coin beads. I also added some bicones and one of the chandelier components that they gave us. It's a very simple concept that allows you to loop it to the bottom of the necklace to give it a knotted pendant look. Just another option if you feel like changing things up and for a different kind of look. I love pieces that double as something else and are versatile. I'm sure you're not surprised that I made a memory wire bracelet, especially since that's all I've been working on for the last 3 months. That's right, guys, I had to make one with these pretty beads, and once again I whipped out my magic rods, and this time I used my Coil buddy to help me create this bracelet. And again, if you haven't seen the video where I use the Coil buddy, I'll leave the link down below so you can go check it out. It's an awesome memory wire bracelet aid that helps you easily create the patterns without loading and unloading your coil. But one thing I will say is that you need to have the correct type of memory wire, and I found this out recently. I discovered recently that the thinner gauges require more wire retraining, and they get pulled out of shape easily by the weight of the beads. So anyway, after loading my rods and using the Coil buddy to make sure my circumference lengths were exactly 60 millimeters, I almost gave into using a copper colored memory wire that I had purchased. But after examining it, I realized that it was way too flimsy. Of course it was. If it's copper colored, it's probably not steel, which is what you need for a sturdy bracelet. So I put the copper colored wire away for some other project, and I pulled out some thicker gauge wire. 0.8 millimeters is approximately 20 gauge thickness, and it's what I recommend. And I was so pleased that my designs lined up and I did not have to train my wire in any way. Of course, I did use the bead anchoring method, which helps. And again, if you haven't seen that video, please go check it out, because I talk about the bead anchoring and I go into the detail of the Coil buddy. There are 2 videos, one about the Coil buddy and the other one about retraining your wire. But like I said, if you use 0.8 millimeter wire or thicker, you don't have to retrain your wire. So here I'm demonstrating how I load my rods, and because the beads are held in place with the holes lined up, I'm able to grab several beads at once for threading onto the coil. This makes the process quick and painless. I then finished by attaching a couple of charms, and my bracelet was complete. So here's my beautiful memory wire bracelet, and boy, the colors are so pretty in the sunlight. And finally, I made 3 sets of earrings using some of the Jasper rounds and crystals, as well as the chandelier components. Well, that's it for this month's collection. I hope you've enjoyed seeing all the creations. I'm going to pick one of these necklaces and put it on, and I'll come back to say goodbye. Well, I picked this one, as you can see. I just love the monochromatic look. I like that it's a little understated but fancy at the same time, and I thought I would take it inside and show you, because it's so hard to see outside with the sunlight what it looks like on. But here it is, guys. Look how beautiful that is. I love this one. I think I'm going to keep this one. I don't think I'm going to sell it. All right, guys, I hope I've inspired you. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please come back and see me again, and don't forget to check out Bargain Bead Box if you're interested. I will leave the link below with a coupon code for $2 off your first box. And thanks again. Have a great day. Bye.